What's going on, y'all? Manifest Mitchell here today with a video about 4 reasons why I'm waiting to buy my land even though I already have enough money. If you haven't already, give me a like, hit the subscribe button, and let me know what you think in the comments below. The first reason I'm waiting is because I am working on setting up my online business and remote job. You know, right now I have to drive to and from the place that I work, and the goal for me is to be able to work anywhere I want in the world. The business model that I'm using for this online business includes having land to use as content. You know, I want to show people that they can, even in today's day and age, homestead and do permaculture, specifically looking at efficient farming methods like vertical farming and aeroponics. I also want to focus on sustainable living and minimalism, with topics like harvesting rainwater and generating all of my electricity with solar power. Having an online business would also allow me to rent out my property as an Airbnb while I'm away. And even if I'm not away from the homestead, I want to live in a tiny house that's on the property, which would allow me to rent out the main house on the property as an Airbnb or a family home. The second reason that I am waiting to buy my property is that I am still researching the zoning and codes, municipal regulations, and laws in different areas of the country regarding alternative living, rainwater harvesting, permaculture, and that kind of thing. You know, I definitely want to find an area where I can do all of these things legally and not have any kind of fear of somebody coming onto my property and telling me that the government doesn't allow me to live the lifestyle that I choose. I also want to find an area that has a really cool culture and like social life. And lastly, I want to make sure that the area where I choose to buy my property is going to support my ideas about gun laws. I'm not like a Second Amendment buff or freak, and I don't really want to get into that too much, but I am a big proponent of my right to self-defense on my own property. The third reason, and one of the most important, that I'm waiting to buy my land is that I want to do it in a financially sound way. You know, right now, depending on where I were to buy this land, I do have enough for a decent down payment, or even enough for a down payment on 2 properties, like a land and then maybe a rental house. However, I'd probably be looking into kind of subprime mortgages or low equity in my mortgages. And my idea of sustainability and financial independence is to just pay cash for everything. I also want my rental property to cash flow rather than just pay the mortgage, so that I'm actually generating an income for myself while I'm renting out the house or property. And just, you never know with the economy and running my own business, I just want to make sure that if anything kind of tanks or happens in the economy, that I'm all taken care of. The last and biggest reason that I am waiting to buy my property is I am waiting to get a good deal. Everything in the economy right now is just so overinflated. Home prices, land prices, and just the total valuation of goods and services. I'm not saying that a depression is looming or on the horizon, but just with the natural ebb and flow with pretty much everything in life, the economy eventually will go down in value. You know, less people will have extra cash on hand and more people will be wanting to sell the things that they have. It's simple supply and demand. When there is more supply to sell, the prices will be lower, as well as when there is less demand to buy, the prices will also be lower. Even though interest rates are really low right now, and a lot of people say, you know, you want to go ahead and get into a property or house now so you can lock in that low interest rate, I think it's going to be better for me to just wait for a really low price where the price of the home is going to be more valuable to me than the low interest rate that I would get from borrowing money. Like I said, I do have enough money right now for a pretty decent down payment or to maybe get into 2 different properties, but I'm estimating with 18 months to 2 or 3 years of more time to save, I'm going to be in a much better position as a buyer, especially if I can pay cash and maybe someone really needs to sell or they're desperate to get out of a mortgage. And I'm not trying to take advantage of anybody here, but maybe it's going to be more beneficial for somebody else in a couple of years to take the money that they have in the land or property and move that into something else. All right, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What's your experience with paying cash for property or land versus having a mortgage or monthly payments? What's your experience with kind of saving up money and then buying during a recession or a low point in the economy? And how much luck have you had with paying things off over time versus paying cash for things? All right, thanks so much, y'all. I'll catch you on the next video. See you soon.